So I have a pet rabbit and I have a litter box trained her so that she can free roam around my house and not be confined to a cage. I have this litter box cover that is awesome that I keep her litter box in, so it's clean and it looks great. But one comment that I get a lot is about ammonia. Are hooded litter boxes safe, or are they actually exposing your rabbit to ammonia? What is ammonia? Ammonia is a colorless, pungent gas composed of nitrogen and hydrogen. But it can be dangerous because exposure to high concentrations of ammonia in air can cause immediate burning of the eyes, nose, throat, respiratory tract, all things you don't want your rabbit to experience. So what does this have to do with litter boxes? If urine becomes highly concentrated, urine could have a strong ammonia odor, and that odor is what can cause that irritation. So today we are going to go to science class and we are going to put this theory to the test because I just don't know if this is true or not, but if it is true, I don't want to be exposing Cinnabun to that and I don't want to irritate her at all. So let's fix it. I am going to use this litter box here as our test subject. The reason I'm choosing this litter box is that it comes with a hood, but the hood is easily detachable. I like the low front, it's a big size so that my rabbit can have plenty of room to move around in it. And we are going to test 3 different litter box conditions and see if any of those result in a high concentration of ammonia odor. The 3 we're gonna test are just the plain open air litter box, the litter box with the lid on top, and then third, we're gonna test my litter box setup, which is just a simple litter box inside of a litter box cover. Now, how do we test for the presence of ammonia? Well, you can buy these little test strips on Amazon, so that's what I did. They come with this nice little chart that shows you safe versus dangerous levels, and on this chart, the safe level is anywhere under 15. So pretty much anything that would come out as orange or yellow is safe. To start this experiment off, I tested the bunny room. To test it, I had to take some distilled water, I put it in a syringe and put a couple of drops on the strip and just held it out in the open air for 15 seconds. I compared it on the strip and it looks like the strip did not really change color at all. It is nice and orange. So this bunny room, we're in the clear, it's safe. Let's start with my regular setup of the litter box cover that I got from Amazon with just the litter pan inside. Now the way I prep Cinnabun's litter box is I get her litter pan and I take a puppy pad, which is a pee absorbent pad. I lay that in the pan and then I put hay in one side. Now typically on the other side of this litter pan, I would put some type of paper bedding, but for this experiment, I'm gonna leave that empty so that we can really get the test results we need and not have the amount of litter messing with my results. So our litter box is set up, I put it into the litter cover, and now we just need to wait for Cinnabun to go to the bathroom. Now while we wait for Cinnabun to do her business, let's talk about what is great about having a litter box cover. I love this cover because it is clean. When Cinnabun hops out of the litter box, she's not hopping out with any hay or poop. Everything is contained inside. So I personally have loved having this cover. I also like it because it reduces any smell in the space that pretty much stays contained to the box, which maybe that could be an issue today. We'll find out. But all in all, I like the look of this litter box cover, and it has been my go-to way of litter training Cinnabun. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours. Let's test this out. Got my drops of distilled water, put it onto the paper, and I held it right over the litter box. After about 15 seconds, I took my strip to the chart, and let's look at the results. So if you look at this compared to the strip I took of the room, it is slightly more yellow than the original strip. So that means that there is some gas, which of course that would make sense because Cinnabun has been peeing in that litter box, but it is well within the safe zone. It's not fully yellow, it just has a slight tint. So maybe this could be like a 3 or 4 on the scale, but nice and safe. So the next thing I wanted to test was the litter box with the cover. So let's get rid of my litter box cover. There we go, very nice. And Cinnabun was a little confused about what was going on. This is not her normal setup, so we had to do some investigating. I was worried that she wouldn't go into the litter cover on her own, so I had to bring in the big guns, aka a banana. Once we discovered that the litter box with cover was nice and safe, She had no problem doing her business. So for the next 24 hours, this is our litter box setup, and I can say that it still kept the smell nice and contained in there. My space felt clean, but I will say that when she jumped out of the litter box, she did bring more poop out with her, so it was a little bit less of a clean space than when I had my full litter box cover. But let's test it out and see if this smaller space was more unsafe for her. Pulled out my strip, got my water, waited my 15 seconds, and it looks like it is the pretty much exact same color as the one from the litter box cover. We have a little bit of the yellow present, but still it's nothing crazy. We're still well within the safe zone. I'm feeling good at this point. But I am curious to see if a litter pan without any cover would show nothing. So let's test that out. Once again, I set up my litter box as I typically would and plopped it right onto the ground. Cinnabun knew what to do, hopped right in and got to business. This is definitely my least favorite litter box setup. One, I really like having some type of cover because I can actually use a hay bag instead of just leaving the hay flat in her litter pan because she was peeing on it, it was messy, and I like being able to hang a hay bag somewhere. I guess in theory I could have hung that on the wall, but that just isn't super pretty, so I like having it all contained. It also was so messy. I mean, there was poop and hay everywhere the next day. So I'm hoping that the results aren't showing me anything crazy because I do not like this litter box setup for myself. So I got my little test strips, went over to her litter box. I swear it's the exact same color as the other two. So what is that showing us? That is showing us that I think that this is a myth busted, bunny busted problem. Yes, there was a slight difference in color between her litter box and the room, but it was well within the safe zone and the color was the same for all three litter box setups. So that got me wondering, okay, I'm changing her litter box every day. I'm keeping the space fairly clean. What would happen if I tested an area that had a lot of rabbit pee? So I went out to the Cinnabun shed. This is where we are going to really test to see how much ammonia can be caused by rabbit pee. Now in the Cinnabun shed, I have a trash can that is used only for pee pads. Every time I change her litter box, I put the used pee pad into the trash can. So I emptied this trash can about a week ago, but it is closed and the pee pads in there have been festering. So let's see if this large amount of urine is really producing a lot of ammonia gas. I did my little test and it definitely was more yellow than any of the other strips. So it definitely was more of that ammonia smelling gas, but it technically was still in the safe zone. So what has this taught us today? One, using a hooded litter box, if you are changing your litter box consistently and keeping up with your space, is totally safe. You're not exposing your rabbit to any unnecessary gases and they are quite safe breathing in their litter box. Also, it's worth noting that your rabbit is not living in their litter box. They hop in and out, so it's not like they're sitting in there for 24 hours. And even the trash can that was filled with pee pads for a full week still wasn't producing any like toxic gases. Now, of course, it was showing that the longer you let things sit, the more ammonia was present, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your rabbit is in danger. It pretty much means take care of your rabbit's litter box, change it every day, treat your rabbit like you would any other pet with respect and with care, and they are gonna be nice and safe. So I think that we can officially call that theory bunny proof busted. So it looks like I will be sticking to my regular litter box setup because Cinnabun loves it, works for me, and it is proven to be safe and great. I'm gonna link the litter box that I used in this video down below, as well as the cover I use. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of Bunny Proof Busters. Let me know if there's another episode you would like to see, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye, Buns! Okay, if you're wondering if these ammonia strips really work after watching my video, here's some Windex, which is said to contain ammonia. Oh my god. Instantly, oh gosh, instantly turned dark blue, which is the highest concentration. So, yeah, these strips work.